This is a cross-section of the head showing the olfactory area, the nasal passage, and the amygdala. Air first travels through the nasal passage where scent is picked up by the receptor cells. Then, after the signal is picked up by the receptor cells, the signal travels through to the olfactory bulb where the axons come together and go to the olfactory nerve, where it is then sent to the amygdala and processed in the brain there. The vomeronasal organ is located here. This is where pheromone signals are said to be received. Although it does not play a huge role in humans, in other animals such as dogs, pheromones are received here, and this deals with sex drives and other factors like that.
This is the human tongue. The tongue is a group of muscles on the floor of the mouth that manipulates food for chewing. It is sensitive and kept moistened by saliva and is richly supplied with nerves and blood vessels. It is the human secondary function of the tongue called the phonetic articulation. It is also serves as a natural means of cleaning one's teeth. The average person's tongue is 4 inches, and if you burn your tongue, your taste buds will grow back. There are 4 main types of taste receptors located on the tongue. The first one is sweet, an appetitive taste. Sweetness rewards the consumption of energy-rich sugars. An example of this is sugar donuts. The second is sour. It is a basic taste that is considered agreeable only in small amounts. An aversive taste, it wards off the ingestion of harmful substances. An example of this is warheads. The third one is salty. An appetitive taste, it drives consumption of salt. An example of this is salted pretzels. The fourth one is bitter. This is perceived as unpleasant. An aversive taste, it helps prevent ingestion of toxic substances. An example of this is black coffee. There are 2 other categories of taste. Umami, which is produced by the taste savory, which is found in cheese, soy sauce, and even tomatoes, and then astringent, which is found in tea.
Circumvallate papillae lie near the back of the palatine section of the tongue and are arranged in a V-shaped formation directed toward the throat. There is a set of 7 to 12 of these bulging papillae. Under high magnification, these projections look like round, domed keep of a castle surrounded by a deep moat and an outer steep-sided dike. These taste buds of the circumvallate papillae are sensitive to bitter flavors. The foliate papillae are clustered in 2 groups positioned on each side of the tongue, just in front of the V of the circumvallate papillae. Their name is descriptive, with each of these papillae having an elongated fold that looks like a leaf seen edge on. The filiform papillae is the most numerous. It is conical and arranged fairly regular rows parallel to the groove of the tongue. Some of these papillae have a simple form, while others have frilled tips with each branch of the peak roughly conical. The main job of the filiform papillae is to act as an abrasive coating, which helps give the tongue a clean and rasping action. The action is completed by the antibacterial action of some of the components of saliva. The taste buds of the filiform are sensitive to sour flavors. Fungiform papillae respond to both sweet and sour taste. They are rather more of the mushroom-shaped fungiform papillae, which are scattered over the surface of the tongue with particular concentration at the tip and along the sides of the tongue. There is almost spherical body that flatten the top and narrow base. This is an example of the circumvallate papillae. Food and saliva enter the tongue and they sit on the top of the papilla. Then they combine in a solute. They travel down the trench where they interact with the taste buds and they send a chemosensitive signal to the brain. This is an example of a taste bud. The taste buds are chemoreceptors, meaning they transduce or translate chemical signals in food into electrical signals in the body. These electrical signals, called action potentials, travel to the brain via the nervous system, allowing us to experience the sensations of taste. Taste buds are known as direct chemoreceptors, meaning that they must make direct contact with the chemicals in food in order for us to taste. On top, you have a taste pore, which all the sources of the food enter. On the side, you have gustatory hairs, which pick up the senses of the food. And then when you split it open, you have the microvilli near the top, which crown out to be the gustatory hairs. You have taste cells, supporting cells, basal cells, and then you have synapses between the axons and the supporting cells and taste cells. And then from there, you can see how they all group into a giant axon, which goes into a nerve that makes its way towards the brain.
Things that cause you to lose taste are poor oral hygiene. The use of dentures may impair sour and bitter perception, and tongue brushing has been shown to decrease taste acuity. Our sense of taste is shown in this schematic drawing. It starts with specialized cells on the tongue that send information to the brain's taste nuclei in the medulla, atop the spinal cord. From these sites, signals go to the amygdala and the thalamus, which in turn alert the portion of the cortex that processes and stores that information.